Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Peshawar Public School and College. Today, dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss in lecture number 2 our second topic, law of mass action. Law of mass action is also called law of chemical equilibrium because this law explain or predict the behavior of solution in dynamic equilibrium. Now, first we will discuss about the historical background. This law was proposed by the two chemists Goldberg and Peter Wedge in 1864. This law principle This law is applicable to all those chemical reactions which involve dynamic equilibrium. In the same way, this law gave a relation between the concentration of reactants and products at equilibrium in a chemical reaction. Statement number 1 of law of mass action. This law states that the rate or speed of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the product of molar concentration or active masses of reacting substances. Now the question arises, what is active mass? Active mass means the concentration of reactants or products in moles per dm cube, or we can say in simple words that active mass is the mass of a substance that is actually reacting in a chemical reaction. Now the law of mass action can be generally represented as A plus B gives us C plus D. A and B are the reactants and C and D are the products. But here only 1 mole of A react with 1 mole of B to give 1 mole of C and 1 mole of D. Now the products 1 mole of C and 1 mole of D can react again to give us 1 mole of A and 1 mole of B. This shows that this is a reversible reaction. Like as we have already discussed that the law of mass action is applicable to dynamic equilibrium as well as to reversible reactions. Now if suppose we have greater number of moles like greater than 1, so we can explain the second statement in terms of coefficients. Like this law can also be stated as the rate or speed of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the product of molar concentration or active masses of reacting substances, each raised to the power of coefficient present in the balanced chemical equation. Like if there are coefficients provided, they will be, now we will write it in the form of powers. Here it is generally presented as A mole of A react with B mole of B to give us C mole of C and D mole of D. Now from this equation we can say that the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of reactants. Here small a and small b represents the coefficients, while the square bracket it represents the concentration, and the unit of concentration is moles per dm cube. Now we can derive an expression for an equilibrium constant of a general reaction of law of mass action. Like I have selected the second equation, but you students, you can also show for the first reaction. As we know from the above reaction that the rate of forward reaction has direct relation with the concentration of reactants. It means if there will be reactants, then they will react together and the reaction will go in the forward direction and they will give us products. So we can say that the rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of reactants. Like mathematically it can be presented as RF has direct relation with the concentration of A power A and the concentration of B power B. After removing the proportionality sign, we get an equation RF is equal to KF, concentration of A power A, concentration of B power B. So now this is our equation number 1. In the same way, the rate of reverse reaction has direct relation with the concentration of the products. Like if we have products and the products again recombine and they give the reactants, it means the reverse reaction occurs if there will be the products and they will recombine and they give the reactants. So its rate, the rate of reverse reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of products. Now mathematically it can be written as RR equal to KR, concentration of C power C, concentration of D power D. Now Here the different symbols which are given, like Kf is the rate constant for the forward reaction, Kr is the rate constant for the reverse reaction, Rf shows the rate of forward reaction, Rr show the rate of reverse reaction. In the same way, the square brackets in which A and B is written, it show molar concentration or active masses of the reactants, while the square brackets in which C and D is written, it show molar concentration or active masses of the products. Now, as we know from our previous lecture that at equilibrium state, the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of reverse reaction, which can be shown mathematically that Rf is equal to Rr. Now, by putting the values from equation number 2, we can get equation number 3, which is as Kf into concentration of A power A, concentration of B power B equal to Kr, concentration of C power C, concentration of D power D. After rearranging equation number 3 to get equation number 4, we will carry the Kr to the left side below Kf. So now Kf over Kr is equal to concentration of C power C, concentration of D power D. In the same way, we will carry concentration of A power A, concentration of B power B to the right side below C and D. Now we will suppose Kf over Kr equal to Kc. So now the equation becomes Kc is equal to C power C, D power D, and in the same way concentration of A power A below concentration of B power B. So now this become equation number 5. Now the Kc show it is called equilibrium constant. In Kc, the subscript C denotes the molar concentration at equilibrium. So now we can define the equilibrium constant, which is Kc. There are two statements of the equilibrium constant based upon the equation. Like number 1, we will take based upon the simple equation in which there are no coefficients and there is only one number of moles of each reactant involved and one number of moles of each product is formed. So statement number 1, it can be defined as the ratio of mathematical product of concentration of products to the mathematical product of concentration of reactants at equilibrium. Mathematical representation, now equilibrium constant Kc is equal to concentration of C, in the same way into concentration of D below concentration of A, concentration of B. As the equation show, it is a ratio between the concentration of products to the concentration of reactants. Here in statement, they have written that the ratio of mathematical product of concentration of products. So the first product is for multiply, and the second, which is written after in concentration of products, that is for the products which are the newly formed substances after the reaction of reactants, which we will get. Now statement number 2 of the equilibrium constant, when we have different number of moles of reactants and products, so I can define the equilibrium constant now in term of coefficient as the ratio of mathematical product of concentration of products raised to the power of coefficient at equilibrium to the mathematical product of concentration of reactants raised to the power of coefficient present in the balanced chemical equation. Like mathematically, when we write this equation, A moles of A react with B moles of B to give us C mole of C and D mole of D, where the small letters A, B, C and D, these are coefficients, and when we write the equilibrium constant Kc, it will be equal to concentration of C power C, concentration of D power D, and concentration of A power A in concentration of B power B. So the powers, these are actually the coefficient or the number of moles which are involved in the balanced chemical equation. Now general information which are related to Kc, the value of Kc or the position of equilibrium, we can discuss now. Number 1, the value of the equilibrium constant, it always remains same or constant for a particular reaction. Like suppose we have two equations or two chemical reactions. For each has different value of Kc, and that Kc value will remain constant. There will be no change in the value of Kc. Number 2, the equilibrium constant of a reaction is independent of pressure, concentration and catalyst, while the position of equilibrium will go either to forward or reverse direction with a change in these conditions. It means that the value of the equilibrium constant, it do not depend upon the pressure, concentration or catalyst, while the position of equilibrium, it will change. Like suppose in the previous page, at the below side, we have equation A mole of A plus B mole of B. So suppose I am adding from the outside one of the reactant, maybe A or B, or in some moles, some amount of number of moles. So it will only cause the change in the direction or in the change in the position of equilibrium. Like when the amount of reactant is increasing, the reaction go to the forward direction. There will be no effect on the value of Kc. Like suppose if I have a constant value of Kc, there will be no change in the value of Kc. Only the position will change. Like in the same way, if I will remove one of the product, the reaction will again go to the forward direction to make the product again. Or suppose I am adding the product on the product side from the outside, then the product go to the reverse direction to form the reactants again. Actually, here we have discussed already, we want to maintain an equilibrium between the reactant and the product concentration. In the same way, pressure and catalyst, they have no effect on the value of Kc. Point number 3, the value of equilibrium constant, it depends on temperature for endothermic and exothermic reactions. Like endothermic reactions are those reactions in which heat is absorbed, while the exothermic reactions are those reactions in which heat is evolved. So, if there is any change in temperature, the value of the equilibrium constant, it will also changes. Like this is given in detail in your first year course. The value of, point number 4, the value of the equilibrium constant of an endothermic reaction, it will increases, and that of exothermic reaction, it will decreases with increase in temperature. Like suppose if I will discuss in detail, if a reaction is exothermic, it means the amount of the product is greater than the amount of the reactant. So an increase in temperature will move the reaction in the reverse direction for decreasing the amount of products and increasing the amount of reactants to make them equal. While if we decrease the temperature, opposite will be the case. In the same way, if there is an endothermic reaction, it means the amount of the products will be less, but the amount of the reactant will be more. So an increase in temperature for endothermic reaction will move the reaction in the forward direction to form more and more products, and to make the amount of reactant and the product equals. Now girls, in the previous page below, there is given importance of law of mass action. Importance of law of mass action or applications of law of mass action. Like this law, it is applicable to all those chemical reactions which involve reversible reactions, as we have discussed in the previous examples. This law is also applicable to all those reactions which involve dynamic equilibrium. We have also discussed this in the previous example. Point number 3, this law is also applicable for those reactions which involve homogeneous or heterogeneous equilibrium. Now girls, maybe in your mind the question will arise, like what is homogeneous equilibrium and what is heterogeneous equilibrium? Homogeneous equilibrium is that equilibrium in which the reactants and the products both are in the same physical state. Means either maybe both are in the solid state, or maybe both the reactants or the products, they are in the liquid state, or maybe they are in the gaseous state. But if it is heterogeneous equilibrium, it means one of the reactant or maybe product, they are in different physical state. Like suppose if one of the reactant is in gaseous state, another is in solid state, and in the same way the products are also in the gaseous or solid state, so that equilibrium is called heterogeneous equilibrium. So this law is applicable for both type of equilibrium reactions. Now girls, For your knowledge, I will discuss one thing in addition. In the textbook, page number 7, below the statement, they have given why the term active mass, which represents the concentration of reactants and products in moles per dm cube, it is taken for a dilute solution. Actually, in concentrated solution, the active mass do not equal to molarity, but when the solute concentration decreases, like the coefficient value approaches unity, it means when the concentration of solute decreases and the solution becomes very dilute, like the value of the coefficient will also decreases even if it reaches to unity, it means that the active mass and the concentration now they becomes equal. Like we consider that concentrated solution in which the solute is very less, now we take it as a dilute solution and we take both in the unit of moles per dm cube. So that's why the term dilute solution is used in case of law of mass action. Dear students, before I will give you your homework or assignment, I will play an animated video for making your concept more clear. Dear students, hope you will be clear about the law of mass action after observing this video. Now, one thing in addition I will discuss, like in this video at the end they have discussed some of the units. So this is our next topic. Now girls, in paper sometimes they ask about derive an expression or equation for the law of mass action, but they mostly give the simple equation without coefficients like a plus b gives us c plus d. So you try to solve this expression from the video in your assignment, and you derive it for this simple equation. Now the homework questions. Question number 1 is relate active mass with the rate of chemical reaction, which is question number 5 of the exercise in short question. So you will solve it by taking help from the unique book, but you should define first active mass in the same chemical reaction and then the relation. Question number 2, short question. Write equilibrium constant expression for the following chemical reaction. Question number 8, short question of the exercise. Question number 8 is question number 2 here, which is provided. So you can also solve it like the simple expression they are asking about. So first define equilibrium constant like given in the previous topic which I have discussed. First define equilibrium constant and then write the expression. Maybe you write for the simple equation or you write for the other equation which is given in term of coefficient. Question number 3, describe the effect of temperature on equilibrium. I have discussed this also in detail. You can consult your unique book as well as listen my lecture and attempt this question. Now long question answers which are also taken from the exercise. Number 1, describe the law of mass action. So you will first define the law of mass action, then about the principle, and in the same way which I have given in your lecture. Now question number 3 part A, derive an expression for equilibrium constant. So in the same way like they are asking about the first one, the second question, short question, right, equilibrium constant expression. These two are similar a little bit, but in the second short question you will define properly first equilibrium constant and then the expression. Here you can also define, but here a little bit detail is needed as compared to the short question. Girls, one of the student about the previous lecture, she asked about the short question number 1 which was provided in the homework, that how we attempt it. So you can attempt it in such a way like they are asking about what is equilibrium and give its examples. So you define first of all equilibrium and then you can show it by the diagram. In the same way first you provide the general example which I have provided to you, and then you can take the other common examples from your book. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.